My name is Eily. I'm 7, second grade.
Eily's wonderful. She's so sweet. She's such a person for others. She's always concerned about others and, always looking out, always putting people first, putting people before her.
I like to play outside in the snow and play with my dolls in my room.
She is a very compassionate little girl. She's very stoic. When she sets her mind to something, like there's no stopping her. I mean, I try and there's no stopping her.
I like doing videos for my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is called Eily's World. Hello everyone, welcome back to Eily's World. Today, okay.
Very much a people person, yeah.
Everything else, like blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I'm going to show you over here.
I found out that I was pregnant with Eily, and this is weird because I immediately had a feeling that something was wrong. So we went in for our 20-week ultrasound to find out if she was gonna be a boy or a girl.
So we were really looking forward to it. We were, in high spirits, and headed in there, and, they weren't able to kind of get the visuals that they wanted.
It had been like 2 hours, and I remember the ultrasound technician wasn't telling us anything. She kept, she wasn't talking at all. I told us she was a girl, but then she wasn't talking at all, and we were there for a really long time.
So we were sent to the hospital to use a more updated machine. We were kind of confused.
But I felt very unprepared for when we went into our maternal fetal medicine doctor. We went in there and he's like, "You know why you're here, right?" And we're like, "Yes, to get a better picture of our daughter's heart." And he goes, "No, your daughter has half of a heart." It was our worst nightmare.
It was a shocker.
I remember Dan just was constantly telling me that she was gonna be okay. I lived on hope. I just scoured the internet. The American Heart Association connected me with a family in South Dakota who had a son who had similar heart defects with Eily. Just looking for someone to tell me that it was gonna be okay. I had her at 6 o'clock at night.
When she arrived, it was like, they looked at her and then they were like, you guys want to have her for a little bit? And we were like, you don't have to take her away.
And I got to hold her for 5 minutes. Everyone was like, she's doing great. She was on room air. And I remember kissing her and telling her I loved her.
All right, this is kind of going the way we had hoped a little bit.
Eily's number one heart diagnosis is a thing called tri-cupsid atresia. The tri-cupsid valve is the valve that in normal people separates the right receiving chamber from the right pumping chamber.
There are a lot of funny things about her heart. It's on the right side of her chest, not the left side. It's backwards, the arteries are backwards. But the most important thing is that she has no tricuspid valve.
And when you don't have that valve, there's usually an inability to generate blood flow out to the lungs. Unless you have other abnormalities like a hole between the pumping chambers that can get blood into the pumping chamber out to the lungs. And that was in fact what Eily had.
I remember praying that the hole in Eily's heart would close. And then I ended up finding out when I toured the NICU nurse asked me, "Does she have a hole in her heart?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Is it big?" And I said, "Yeah, it's really big." And she said, "Good, the bigger the better." Because that was what was allowing the blood to get to the part of her heart that really, or to her lungs, because that's the part that didn't form.
We kept her in the hospital for several weeks while we watched her, while we figured out what she had, and while we watched the evolution of her heart and her lungs as she went from inside mom, where she was perfectly fine, to trying to do it on her own. It was hard to predict whether we were going to have to give her an operation that gave her more blood to her lungs, or do an operation to protect her lungs from getting too much blood.
But she was kind of in a sweet spot, like Goldilocks, where there was obstruction to flow into the lungs, but it was just enough obstruction so that she had the right amount going both directions. And she didn't have to have an operation as a neonate.
You think you're gonna be ready for the tough moments, and then when it happens, it like hurts in a way that you weren't ready for, and then, you know, to see her full speed, it's amazing.
What makes your heart special?
Mine is like different from the whole schools.
All these heart families that I follow, these kids are like so amazing. Like they're so strong. There's just something about them. They're so strong, but they need that backing. They need the American Heart Association behind them to keep the research going, you know, to keep making these strides, because just what they've done in 30 years, I mean, I can't imagine what they're going to be able to do in another 30 years. And I'm so grateful for that, and I hope that Eily can continue to benefit from that research.
I'm not sure what we would have done without Children's, honestly.
Children's Hospital has been absolutely, I mean, they have been with us every step of the way.
When I want to grow up, I want to be a teacher because I get to teach people and I get to make the papers and I get to go in the teacher's lounge.
We need the American Heart Association because that is what gives these kids life. I mean, that is why Eily is able to live a normal, regular life, and why you would never even know she's sick. I know every heart defect is different and every child handles it differently, you know, but here's my miracle, because what got me through from the time we found out to actually giving birth to her was hope. We lived on hope. That was all we had. So if I can give anyone else hope, that's all I can give.